I'm actually surprised you're doing this interview with your shirt on after watching tonight's episode.
Like I said, it's chilly up here. If I was back in Florida, I might have my shirt off. So
Oh, okay. All right. Well, then I guess we'll do the next interview from Florida. First of all, let me just ask, how are you doing tonight? Your season premieres. It's a big deal. How do you feel? What kind of headspace are you in right now?
I'm excited. I can't believe that we're here. There's a lot of things that went on last year, and it's nice to be celebrating something so exciting at the start of a new year.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I'm going to get right to it, Matt James, because I wouldn't be myself if I didn't. So watching previews for your season, we saw you tell Chris Harrison that you've never been in love before. And I said, well, how can he be the Bachelor? How is he going to differentiate love between infatuation if he's never been there before? And he's got to now do it on national television amongst 30 plus women. So
Right.
How did you reconcile that?
So up until this point in my life, there's things that you'll do for someone when you love them. And there's things that I wasn't willing to do up until this point. And I told people that I love them, and I guess that I didn't mean it how I mean it now. And love for me has grown, and my view of it is different than it was when I was a jit and I was talking about loving somebody or being in love, because that's not how I feel now. And it's not something that I could have spoken on because I hadn't experienced what it means to have your heart broken. I hadn't experienced what it means to make sacrifices.
Did you find it hard to do that on the show, though? Because, you've got all these women who are, quote, as they say, infatuated with you. How did you separate that too? Like, did you find it hard to separate your feelings and to know what was real and what wasn't?
I think it's difficult initially, because it takes a while to get to know somebody.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that everybody had those jitters coming into it, especially I'm just speaking for myself because I'd never done anything like that. And I know how I felt night one, and I might have come across as I didn't have everything together, because I didn't, and I still don't. But I wanted to give these women a chance to get comfortable, and I wanted to lead the charge in being vulnerable and setting the tone for what I wanted out of this and what I expected. So I tried to lead by example in terms of talking about things that I hadn't talked about in the past, and let my guard down.
Yeah, no, I think that that's great. You sit down and you have a conversation with Chris Harrison where you're talking
Right.
about the pressures that you feel, and then he asks a question like what, and you're doing the explaining. Having been in your seat before, and you're going to have to answer this question a million times, so I don't even want to ask it in that way. It's just, are you exhausted of having to explain what the pressure is and being the first Black Bachelor? Like, do you find that tiresome and you just want to talk about your journey for love?
Rachel, I mean, you couldn't say it any better than I could. I mean, that's I feel you on that. And something I said this morning was Kenneth Cole. He was the third African-American CEO of a Fortune 500 company. He was the CEO at American Express for 15 years. Richard Handler, he's the longest tenured CEO on Wall Street. They're both great CEOs, and we don't refer to one as, oh, this is a great white CEO, this is a great Black CEO. Kenneth happens to be Black, and he's a great CEO. And I happen to be Black, and I hope that my story resonates with everybody, because my experience is my own, and I think I did a great job representing how I was raised and where I come from.
Yeah, and that's how it should be. You shouldn't have to continue to explain yourself about it. So you talked about, in one of your answers, about setting the tone for your season. Let's talk about that. Your season starts off with a vibrator, okay? Let's just call it what it is. Then you walk into the room and you open up in prayer. Now, did you think about this when, it's setting the tone when this is how we kick off your entire season, and then you open up in prayer. Was it difficult for you? Because then even at one point in your speech, you get distracted by it sitting on the table. Talk to me about that. What was really going through your mind?
Oh my gosh.
Good vibrations?
First and foremost, Katie's hilarious for doing that, because you got to be so bold and confident with that type of prop. And so I respected her for it, you know what I mean? Like, cause I was hella nervous. And when she did that, like I was dying laughing. So I'm like, congratulations, like you broke the ice. Like I feel comfortable around you because nothing can get more out of left field than you whipping that thing out.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I walked inside to address everybody, I'm like still nervous, like I'm shaking. And I literally, Rachel, I had nothing to say. I'm in front of these women. They're all beautiful. They're all like here in front of me. And I'm just like, man, let me pray because when I'm anxious, when I'm nervous, I just need to bring some peace into my life. And that's what I did. And after that prayer, I just felt like the weight of the world off my shoulders. And I was just kind of talking about how I wanted to go about the journey and where I'm at. And that's what that was about.
Yeah, you reset the tone when you decided when you decided to pray, which I really thought that was beautiful, and you could tell that you were nervous, and it is a really nerve-wracking experience. What are your 3 must-haves when it comes to the qualities that you want in a woman?
We got to have trust. I got to have trust. I got to be able to trust you. You got to be able to trust me. That's number 1. Number 2, we got to be able to laugh at each other. We got to be able to have fun because life's too short to be serious all the time. And I just love to laugh. And then the third one is just commitment. You know, we've got to be committed to one another. And I got to find a rider, and I want to be somebody's rider.
Yeah, I like that. So rather than ask you about your deal breakers, I want to talk about some of these women that we see that come to meet you in Nimicolin. So one of the women we see in the previews is accused of being an escort. What is the story behind that? We never seen this storyline before.
All I'm gonna say about that is I'm laughing, but those are serious accusations to bring against somebody.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't have a sister, I don't have a daughter, but if my sister or my daughter was being accused of something like that, like I would take that serious. And that's what we did. You know, I took that super serious and we got to the bottom of it.
So how far does she make it? Is it true?
Hey, you got to tune in and find that out.
Oh, Matt, you've been prepped so well. So another one I want to talk about is Queen Victoria. Now, she comes in trying, in my opinion, just a little too hard to capture your attention and to be something that's talked about in the house. So she comes in. What are your thoughts about her? What's the story behind her this season?
Man, listen, I'm going to say this. I've never been in their position, so I don't know what it feels like to be one of many. And whatever you choose to do to make yourself seen, I'm all for it. So whatever you got to do to make sure I remember you and we get time together, there's no rules in war and love.
Do you feel like you found your wife?
You got to tune in for that.
Oh my gosh, Matt, everybody normally gives that. You know, did you feel like you found your wife in the room? You know, did you feel like there's the potential for that? Fiance, wife,
1000%.
girlfriend?
1000%.
Okay. Now, coming on The Bachelor, you're setting history. Obviously, it's a huge deal. Is there anything that you would redo from your season if you could?
Nothing.
Okay.
And a lot of that is because of our conversation. You're just like, I wasn't somebody who I wasn't, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I was myself, and everything that I did in that moment, I would have done without the cameras there. And it was a liberating feeling for me going through that process because it allows me to have conversations more candidly because I'm not worried about what people think about me
Mm-hmm.
and my decision making because I know that it's rooted in how I was raised and what I believe.
I think that's great. We saw a lot of men on Tayshia's season open up in a way we never have before. We see on the previews where you break down and you get emotional. Will we see you open up in that same way?
Heck yeah. You have no choice. Like, you have no choice. You have to, especially for what I'm looking for. Like, I'm looking for realness. I'm looking for authenticity. And I told these women that I was going to set the tone, and I did. I tried to, at least. And they met me where I was at, you know. They opened up and they were vulnerable, and that's why this was hard.
Why were you so emotional in that clip that we see?
There's things that have happened in my life that I had to address, that I hadn't addressed, so that I can get to where I hadn't gone. And it was never something I was planning on doing. And when the opportunity presented itself in that moment to have that conversation, I didn't shy away from it. And it was those type of real moments that brought me to tears, you know. It's hard to be emotional, you know. You try to be this hard, tough rock, and you don't want anyone to see any weakness. And I don't see weakness in crying, you know. Emotion's real, and I needed these women to see every side of me so they know who I am and what they were getting. And again, I tried my best to do that.
Did you bring any help along the way during your season to help you make some of these decisions? I know we see your mom, but any friends come, any other family members?
Yeah, we had some cameos from some alumni, and that was major because they've been through it, and it was nice to be able to bounce stuff off them, because I'm like, yo, this is how I feel right now, but I can't talk to anybody else about this. And they're like, you're not crazy for thinking that, because I felt the same way. And I was like, oh, thank God, because I'm like going crazy over here. But yeah, they helped a lot. Like that was everything. I needed to have those conversations.
Your first impression, Rose, you made a little bit of history in choosing her. What made you choose her for the first impression? Because it's a big deal.
I mean, do we have enough time? Like she was incredible. Like everything that I asked of these women, she did it before. Like, I'm like, I need you to be vulnerable. Boom. Talks about being deaf, and talks about her sister's hearing impairment. Talks about why she's there. Just like everything that I was looking for personified in Abigail. Like it was, I mean, so refreshing to have that type of conversation as someone who was skeptical about finding somebody. You know what I mean? It's like, I've never been on doing something like this. Like, are there real people who come? And then I met Abigail. I'm just like, yo, this is real. And like, I feel it, and I need you to know I feel it. And boom, like I need you to know that I'm happy you're here, and I'm excited to get to know you and figure it out.
Last question. What do you want people to take away from your season?
Openness, just being open to what love looks like, and being open-minded, you know, because I think people are scared of things that they don't understand and they don't know about. So hopefully I can bridge that gap as much as I can through them getting to know me, and having someone who looks like me in their living room who they might not have had. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Good. I'm hoping for that too. What did you do to your thumb?
Yo, I sliced my thumb when I was making breakfast, like deep, like you would have thought that like there was like a fight in my kitchen. Like we need to call like somebody in here to clean up or something. Like I was trying to clean my blender, and the blender has the sharpest. Nah. I know.
I really hope you found someone who can help you so that doesn't happen to you again. I mean, come on, Matt.
I know. I'm all over the place. I know.
It's first night jitters. That's all it is. Well, Matt, congratulations.
Exactly.
We're so excited for you. Can't wait to watch your season. And I'm proud of you.
Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate that.
Take care.
Bye.
Thank you for watching. If you want more extra, hit the subscribe button and the bell so you'll never miss a video.